Last Saturday, Shutterbug Supreme Efren Monsanto and I covered dueling protests in Richmond Hill, Ontario. One involved farmers who are outraged over stormwater management fees increasing by 10,000%. That's right, 10,000%, proving that the war on the farmer has now reached the municipal level. Absolutely shameful. Another entity protesting at the same intersection was essentially an anti-development group known as A Better Richmond Hill. How odd that most of the farmers and their allies were polite and generous with their time, whereas most of the A Better Richmond Hill people were both vulgar and somewhat delusional. Check out this scholar who accused us of catering to Nazis.
Favored by neo-Nazis and the like, and basically noise agents.
Oh, that's interesting. We're favored by neo-Nazis?
Well, haven't you been liked by neo-Nazis? Haven't you been referred to people like the Proud Boys?
Oh, so do you have any evidence of that, sir?
Dude, all I gotta do is look it up. I can't do it right now, but all you gotta do is sort of look up Rebel News and Proud Boys Plus and maybe see what you come up with. And
would that be like the members of the Trucker Freedom Convoy in Ottawa? Is that who you're referring to?
Oh yeah, I should have said trucker. Yeah, favored by the trucker convoys. Those kind of mouth breathers.
Wow, we're Nazi supporters, eh? You know, that's quite a perverse achievement, given that the owner of this company, Ezra Levant, is a Jew, and that my grandfather spent more than 5 years of his life actually fighting Nazis during the Second World War. Unbelievable. But now, in the aftermath, A Better Richmond Hill issued a press release entitled, quote, "We will not be intimidated. A Better Richmond Hill will continue with our peaceful rally this Saturday, October 15th, end quote. Interesting. The intimidators will not be intimidated. The release further states, quote, "A few points of note are warranted," end quote. And one of those notable points, folks, that caught my eye was this particular whopper, quote, "Sheila Wang, the Richmond Hill Liberal reporter who was invited to cover the ABRH rally, was aggressively interviewed at the rally by David Menzies of Rebel Media. The editor of the Richmond Hill Liberal, Ted McFadden, emailed to confirm his decision not to have Miss Wang attend our October 15th rally, as her safety could not be guaranteed and for fear of further harassment," end quote. Holy Rachel Gilmore, Batman. You mean to say that when an independent journalist has the utter temerity and audacity to ask a mainstream media journalist a question, then such a query is deemed to be an aggressive act? Much like how that uber fragile reporter at Global News acts, that would be Rachel Where's My Blouse Gilmore. You know, how she considers mean tweets to be akin to physical attacks. Hey ladies, you want to see what an unsafe situation and a real physical attack looks like? How about what happened to my colleague Alexa Lavoie in February in Ottawa when she was shot point blank?
What are you doing? Hold him! No, stop him! Stop! Stop! Keep him! Stop it! You just fight on progress! You just fight on progress! Oh! Okay, girl, you all right? Got shot. Take care. Bring her out. Bring her out. Come on.
And how about yours truly, just last December when Trudeau's Royal Canadian Mounted Henchman gave me the works.
I can... Hey, this is assault. Move. I'm on a side... What is this? I'm on a sidewalk. I am on a side... What is this? You cannot touch me. No rushing over. Hey! Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Let go of me. What is this? You can't... Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Because otherwise you have no right Huh?
Now, those pigs bruised and bloodied me that night, and they gave me COVID. But when it comes to the journalistic girly fan base of Prime Minister Blackface McGroper, hey, nothing to see here, folks. Move along. He's got such fabulous hair. Still, in the interest of fair comment, I did reach out to Wang and McFadden with some questions, and here they are. Number one, there is a statement by ABRH that reads as follows, quote, Sheila Wang, the Richmond Hill Liberal reporter who was invited to cover the ABRH rally, was aggressively interviewed at the rally by David Menzies of Rebel Media. The editor of the Richmond Hill Liberal, Ted McFadden, emailed to confirm his decision not to have Miss Wang attend our October 15th rally as her safety could not be guaranteed and for fear of further harassment, end quote. Is this information indeed accurate? Number two, if so, what is your definition of being aggressively interviewed? 3, how is a journalist being asked questions, aggressively or otherwise, a so-called safety issue? 4, given that the Richmond Hill Liberal is taxpayer funded, don't you think you are accountable to the concerns of taxpayers, aka your shareholders? 5, speaking of money, I have reached out in the past to Richmond Hill Councillor Carmine Pirelli, Tom Munch, and Greg Barrows. They feel they have been unfairly targeted by the Richmond Hill Liberal. The commonality is that they all voted to defund the Richmond Hill Liberal back in 2020 when the city ended its annual 6-figure advertising contract with your newspaper. Do their allegations have merit? Well, guess what, folks? Shockers, no response. Oh, and by the way, Miss Wang, if you're watching this, I will not be covering the October 15th protest. So you can get out of the fetal position and freely and safely attend that demonstration. The big bad boogeyman will not be in attendance. But isn't this typical of the mainstream media, folks? They feel entitled to thrust their spotlight into our private lives, demanding answers. But when the spotlight is reversed, i.e. when we ask questions of them, and we deserve answers, I should think, given that we are involuntarily funding these bastards, they turtle and they claim harassment. And they claim that asking impolite questions is tantamount to creating an unsafe environment. Give me a break already. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, do you think this most recent and localized war on the farmer is correct? Stormwater management fees going up by 10,000% to the few remaining farms that exist in Richmond Hill? If not, please give the mayor a piece of your mind. Please reach out to Mayor David West. Hit the link below and give him a piece of your mind that the war on the farmer must stop now.